All right, PolyOp1 test review. Number 1 says simplify the following expression. So when we're simplifying, there's no parentheses, so we're literally just going to combine our like terms. Remember, they have to have the same letter and exponent. So this has an x squared, and this also has an x squared. So we're going to combine those. 7 plus 5 is 12. So I have 12x squared. Then I have this 9x, and then I also have just an x here, which if there's no number, we can put a 1. So negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8. Don't forget the x. And then my constants, which have no letter, negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9, which you can use your calculator if you need to. You just can't type the letters. So you could have done 7 plus 5, negative 9 plus 1, and negative 12 plus 3. So that gave me all the numbers. I just have to remember to put my letters and my exponents back behind it. So 12x squared minus 8x minus 9 is D. Okay, this one is a little different. We have parentheses, but there's nothing, there's a positive in front of the parentheses and nothing in front of this parentheses, so we can ignore them. I'm going to start with my highest exponent, so I have negative 2x squared plus 6x squared. So again, you can use your calculator. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4, so I have 4x squared. And then I have plus 5x plus negative 4x, so 5 plus negative 4 is 1, so I have positive 1x. And then I have my constants, positive 2 plus 9, well 9 plus 2 is 11. So that would be B. 3 is different. This one, again, a show work problem, so we're going to have to show some work on this one. It's going to be distributing. You have to distribute the negative, or the same thing as distributing a negative 1. Now, there's nothing in front of this parentheses, so we're just going to rewrite that side. 2 minus 2x squared plus 5x. And I'm going to distribute. A negative to a negative becomes a positive 4x. Negative to a positive becomes a negative 6x squared. And a negative to a positive becomes a negative 9. Now it's just like number 1 and number 2. We're going to combine our like terms and start with our highest exponent. So I have a negative 2x squared minus 6x squared. Well, negative 2 plus negative 6 is negative 8. So I know I can cross off B. Okay, then I have 5x plus 4x, which is 9x. So I can cross off C. And I have my constants 2 plus negative 9, which is negative 7. So A is my answer. Okay, look at number 4. Ava, Noah, Ethan have gift cards with a balance. Ava's balance is 4 more than twice Noah's balance. Ethan's balance is 7 more than 3 times Noah's balance. And X represents Noah's balance. So everywhere there's Noah's balance, I'm going to put an X. This says Noah's balance, and this says Noah's balance. And then I'm going to start over. Showing work here just means these two things. Okay. So it says Ava's balance is 4 more. That's going to be plus 4. Then twice x. Well, twice x means 2 times x. So 2x plus 4. Then usually means to flip them. Okay. Ethan's balance is 7 more. So plus 7 than 3x. So again, then is going to be to flip them. So 3x plus 7. And then the final question says, which expression represents the combined balance of Ava and Ethan's cards? So combined means to add. So I'm going to add these two. So 2x plus 3x is 5x. 4 plus 7 is 11. So my answer is D. Okay, looking at number 5. I have the box because I'm going to be multiplying. There's nothing in the middle, so I know I'm doing the box. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply them. So I have x minus 2 and then 2x plus 3. And I'm going to multiply x times 2x. I can put a 1 here if I want. 1 times 2 is 2. X times x is x squared. 1x times 3 is 3x. 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. And then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Now, because we're just matching the squares, we don't even have to simplify. All the outsides have x minus 2 and then 2x plus 3, so that doesn't help me. So the inside should have two big boxes, and they all do. They should have 3 positive x's, so here's 3 positive x's, 3 positive x's, and 4 negative x's. Well, these are positive, so that's not my answer. 4 negative, okay, 4 negative, and again, these are positive, so that's not my answer. And I should have negative 6 singles, which is here, so C is my answer. That's why B is wrong, because they were positive. So doing the box will help us match the algebra tiles. Okay, number 6 is a lot like number 3. Okay, we have nothing in front of the first set of parentheses, so we're just going to rewrite it. 6xy plus 2ab minus 4zw, but I have to distribute the negative to that second set of parentheses. So negative ab minus 6xy, 2 negatives makes a positive 8zw, and a negative to a positive makes a negative 2. And now I can combine my like terms. So I have xy, well 6 minus 6 is 0. Those actually cancel each other. Okay, then I have AB minus AB, so 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1, so I have 1AB. And I have ZW, well negative 4 plus 8 is positive 4ZW. And then I have this guy that has no like terms, so we're just going to bring it down, which is minus 2. So there is my answer. Okay. Number 7, I'm not combining this time because there's nothing in between my parentheses, so I'm going to be doing the box. So I'm going to draw my box. Okay, and then 2x minus 9, 4x plus 1, and we multiply. So 2x times 4x is 8x squared. 4x times negative 9 is negative 36x. 2x times 1 is positive 2x, and negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. Now remember, we're adding the diagonal. This is our big plus sign, and that's going to give me negative 34x. So my answer is 8x squared minus 34x minus 9, which is C. Okay, number 8 is going to be very similar. It tells me to find the area. So I know I'm multiplying length times width, so we have to do the box when we're multiplying. So I have 2x plus 3 and x minus 6. And I'm going to multiply. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 3 is positive 3x. 2x times negative 6 is negative 12x. And negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. And then remember, we have to add our diagonal. And that gives me negative 9x. So my answer is 2x squared minus 9x minus 18. However, it's asking me what's k. Well, k is what's in front of x, and what's in front of my x is negative 9. Okay. Number 9, we were doing the box as well, but it's a 2 by 3, a binomial times a trinomial. So we have to actually use a rectangle here. And we need 2 boxes on one side and 3 boxes the other direction, so it's a 2 by 3. So my 2 terms will go on the 2-term side, and my 3 terms will go on the 3-term side. And I'm multiplying just like the other ones. So 3 times 2 is 6, and then x times x squared, well that's 2 and 1 more, so that's to the 3rd power. 2x squared times negative 5 is negative 10x squared. 3x times 4x is positive 12x squared, because x and x. Negative 5 times 4x is negative 20x. Positive 12x, negative 20. Neither of those have an x, so this doesn't have an x. And then we have to combine our like terms. So I'm going to do my diagonals because these are like terms and these are like terms. So this gives me positive 2x squared, because negative 10 plus 12, and then negative 20x plus 12x is negative 8. x. So my answer is 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x minus 20. Okay, look at number 10. Okay, on this one is kind of gross, but we're going to distribute and we're just going to kind of go around and see which one matches. So I'm going to distribute. So 6 times 3 is 18. Then I have a once and I have b twice, so b squared, which matches. Okay, this negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18. Then I have a once and b twice, so that one also matches. A once, b twice, 3 times 6, so that one also matches. And a once, b twice, that also matches. So can't cross anything off yet. Okay, then I gotta multiply again, I've got to distribute. So I did the first one for all of them. So 6b times 2a squared b is positive 12, but that's a squared b squared, which is not this, so that's not it. 3b times negative 4, well 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, and this is positive 12, so that's not it. So we've at least narrowed it down. Okay, and then we have positive 12a squared b, which is correct. And this one gives me positive 12, 6 times 2, and then a twice, so a squared b once. So that one also matches. So last but not least, negative 6b times 1 is negative 6b, which matches. 6a times negative 1 is negative 6a, which doesn't match, so b is my answer. Okay, here, which expression is equivalent? Well, we have to distribute. So 2.5 times 6x, I'm going to use my calculator because if you're like me, I do not multiply fraction or decimals in my head, or fractions for that matter. So we have 2.5 times 6, so that gives me 15x. And then we have 2.5 times negative 4y, so that's negative 10, don't forget the y. Okay, then we have negative 3 times 2x, which is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 5, well, two negatives makes a positive 15y. And then we combine our like terms. So 15x minus 6x, well, 15 minus 6, oh, I did not mean to do that. 15 minus 6 is 9, so I have 9 x's. And then I have negative 10 plus 15, which is a positive 5y. So A is my answer. Okay, number 12. This one wants to know which one has x minus 2 squared plus 3 at the top, and then simplify it also. Well, we don't separate our tiles, so we know A is wrong. Okay, so I should have x minus 2 on both sides. X minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2. So all those are correct. However, if I do x minus 2 squared, that means I'm going to multiply x minus 2 twice, so x squared minus 2x plus 4. So I should have 4 positives. This one does not have that. Well, then it says plus 3. So this plus 3 still has to be there. And this one doesn't have it. So D is not my answer. There's B. I don't even have to simplify. Okay, let's look at number 13. These are y'all's favorite. I'm joking, kind of. Okay, we do have to the box. I'm just going to draw my box for both of them. Okay, on number 13, we have to get rid of, order of operations, we have to do the exponent first. So x plus 5 squared means x plus 5 twice. I've had a lot of people trying to distribute first. You cannot do that. So I know that that negative 3 is still there, and that minus 4 is still there. And whatever the box gives me is what's going to go inside there. So x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, x times 5 is 5x, and 5 times 5 is 25. Well, my diagonal is going to give me 10x, so x squared plus 10x plus 25. So that's my first step I have to show, because this is a show work problem. And then I have to distribute. So 3 times x squared, negative 3, sorry, is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 10x is negative 30x. Negative 3 times 25 is negative 75. Bring down my minus 4. And my last step is to combine. So negative 75 minus 4 is negative 79. So negative 3, negative 30, negative 79. So exact same concept here. I have this x plus 8 squared, so I have to do x plus 8, x plus 8, so x squared plus 8x plus 8x. 8 times 8 is 64. So that gives me 16. So I have x squared plus 16x plus 64. Don't forget the 2 in front and the 10 out back. Now I'm going to distribute. I know I'm going kind of fast, but y'all are welcome to slow it down or pause it as we go. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 16x is 32x. 2 times 64 is 128. Bring down the plus 10. And that gives me 138. So on these problems, it's good to check your work. My a is 2x squared. The a is 2x squared. My c is 138. My c is 138. So what is k? Well, k is what's in front of x, which is 32. Okay, flip to the back. Guys, do not get number 15 wrong. I'm not even going to show you with the equation. We're going to go straight to the calculator. Okay, there is 0 reasons to get this one wrong. We're going to type in the equation. So y equals negative 1/3 parentheses x plus 6 squared minus 2. And it wants to know the vertex, so we click here, and it is negative 6, negative 2. Negative 6, negative 2. Do not get that one wrong. That is free points. Okay, number 16, also you shouldn't get any of these wrong. Okay, on this one, we're going to do plus sign table in our calculator, but we have to have 2 points first. So here's a point, which is negative 3, 0. Here's a point, which is 0, 2, and I'm going to type them in my calculator. Plus sign table, negative 3, 0, 0, 2. And then I want you to check them. Is that in the same spot as my negative 3? Yes. Is that in the same spot as my 2? Yes. So now I click our fancy button. And we know it's going to be 0.6 repeating plus 2. Well, I can cross off C and D right away because those don't work. And then I can type, I could divide 3 divided by 2. This would be 1.5. And then 2 divided by 3 would be 0.6 repeating. So this is my answer. And then last but not least, my y-intercept. Y'all, your y-axis, y to the sky. Okay, where did it touch my y-axis? And that is at 5. Oops, sorry. All right, this is what your test is over. Good luck. Finish your review. Be good, make good choices.